And we're live with my good old friend Liberty DeVitto. Liberty, it's so good to see you.
It's really good to see you, Vic. You look fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. And we used to see each other in the real world every couple
Yes.
year. You'd come out to LA and I'd come to your gig or a screening and I haven't seen you since before the pandemic.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a
Life's
while.
life's different. Have you been out in LA since then?
No. Been just in New York. Right before the pandemic is when I got my knee done.
Okay,
Then the pan
so you have to tell this story. So I was saying how I don't know how you can play the drums so hard and not have everything going wrong in your body because I've got an elbow, a shoulder, a hip. So you had to get your knee done. You're a drummer. That had to take you out for a while.
yes, and it was the right knee, the bass drum knee, the bass drum
Oh,
knee. So when they told me, it was like you have to have it done because my knee was swelling up, my ankle was swelling up, everything was swelling up. It was
oh.
painful. So I went and had it done. Uh, it was fine for about a year and a half, maybe a little bit, and then it started to go south. Like it would start to swell up. I was having a problem walking, and then finally it started to lock, and I couldn't move my leg. Couldn't move my leg. Turns out it was a couple of pieces in there. There's plastic pieces in there besides the big metal piece. Um, it was recalled. And we walked into the doctor's office finally after all these other doctors said, "Oh, it's just a little shot they'll give you and you'll be fine," or your sciatica is bad, and all that kind of stuff. So I went to the doctor that did the operation, and he said, "Did you get the recall letter?" And we were like, "What recall letter? What are you talking about?" So Anna goes off, like, "Well, why didn't you tell us it was being recalled? We're sitting at home. I'm in pain. I can't walk. I'm on the subway and I'm stuck. I can't get up the stairs, you know? So anyway, I
Oh my God,
go,
I've been there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I go, the first knee replacement was July of 2019. This one was March of this year. So I went to the doctor. He looked at it, and he said it's swollen. I can relieve a little bit of that pressure. And he stuck the needle in there, and he's pulling out fluid, and it's supposed to look like apple juice, but it looks like tomato juice. And he goes,
Oh.
"Man, we got to do this really fast. We got to do this quick."
And did
You
you
know?
have gigs booked? Were you having to like take off from work and
Oh,
stuff?
yeah, I had to cancel a bunch of stuff. I had to cancel a bunch of stuff. This is March, and then I said by I think it was June 9th or something like that. 6 weeks later, I put it on my calendar and I said I want to be able to play in 6 weeks. So they said that's a good target to have because then you'll do everything that the physical therapist tells you to do. Because people screw up when they go like, "Oh, I don't want to do this physical therapy anymore." I know a lot of people that can't walk because they don't do the physical therapy.
I'm
There you
sitting
go.
here all day long doing it's a pain in the neck. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah. Yeah.
really is. So
Yeah.
I was very religious with my physical therapy. Luckily, my wife Anna, worked when she worked at Goldman Sachs. They had a physical therapist in the building. He was fantastic. He helped her with her neck, and she goes, "Call him. He'll probably take you on." So I went to him, and he was fantastic.
The right
So
physical therapist is everything. Snuffy and I share one, and
yes,
he's everything.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I was fine after that. I mean, I bent my leg, I got the full range of motion of my knee, and I'm playing again, and
That's
it's all good.
so. And so your knee, that's like you've never had trouble, you've never had trouble with your upper body and all of that, as hard as you hit.
You know that car that you used to own and when you were like a teenager, and it was like, you know, there's parts starting to go, and you're like, but you say, "I love this car. I just love it," and you keep driving it, you're driving it, you're driving it. That's where I'm at now. There's parts that are kind of going, but I'm going to drive it until I can't drive it anymore.
You go, Liberty. And I'm sure you're still hitting as hard as you ever were. I
Well, you know
can't
what?
imagine.
people ask me, they go, "How do you do it?" And I say, "Well, it used to be sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Now it's 4 Advils, a Snickers bar, and icy hot."
So speaking of which, still sober?
Yes, yes. Me and Ricky do stuff all the time. Ricky
Ricky
Bird,
Bird of the Blackhearts, and you guys, do you still do the what was the name of your
clean,
sobriety?
clean getaway.
Clean Getaway.
Yeah, we're doing a thing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in November. I think it's November. Yeah, I'm going to bang on the back of a guitar, and he's going to sing songs that he's written.
You're
You
gonna
know,
bang on the back of a guitar?
well, if they don't have bongos or something there for me to bang on, it's going to be a small little thing, and we're going to do his songs about sobriety, and then we're both going to talk, about what it's like, and
So
what
okay,
what.
so I'm curious about something because I know you didn't do
No,
traditional program. So that is what I'm. How many years are you sober, Liv?
about 21 now.
We're right there. So I'm 23 years, but for me, without meetings really keep me.
Yeah,
So
focused.
how did you do it? How do you do it
Well,
without
for
support?
for me, how I ended my drinking was love got me out of it. I was in love with Anna, who eventually became my wife. And she turned to me one day after a year of being together and she said, "Look, I'll be a friend forever, but I'm not going to live like this." And I said, "When do you want me to stop?" And she said, "Now would be nice." And then I got a life coach.
Were
I
you
go,
were you able to stop on a dime?
"Stop on a dime. Just stop."
Okay, now, all right. Alcohol was your drug of choice, I think.
Yeah, yes, yes.
How much were you drinking back then?
A lot of wine. Wine was my second career.
I
Yeah.
seem to recall that you were drinking it by the Magnum. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so how do you go? How did you get the DTs? Did you get sick? What?
No, it was my third time to try to do it, to try to end it. But this time, because I had Anna and I wanted to keep this, uh, and it was lucky. I was getting divorced from my second wife. Just had met Anna. We had started our relationship and going on. And I wanted to keep this was great. It kept me going. And it was a good thing it happened at that time because then bang, the Billy thing came where it was over. And
Okay,
that's when everything was tempting again, like you can
okay. So
drown
how
this
did you stay sober when
the
all that's crashing down?
right life coach. I would talk to her all the time.
So now,
And
what did you start the life coach to help you stay sober, or was it for career? What made you go? I never talked to you about this, and I had one too. What
right.
made you start with a life coach?
Well, I was having a problem because it eventually became to the point where me and Anna were going to get married. We're talking about it, and I'm meeting her family and stuff like that. And I don't want to sound like yeah, they're Irish. Let's put it that way. so,
Okay.
so I was having a problem with that they take it so lightly, and so I had to go through that whole thing of like, my life coach told me right up front, she goes, "This is a serious thing that you have to deal with. You have
Okay,
to."
wait. One sec. Why did you resist, or did you not go into the room? Because you had a lot of friends like Ricky and other friends, common friends that are in the rooms. What made you not do it the traditional way?
I I had done things. I've seen meetings and stuff like that, and I didn't kind of feel like I'm not part of a group like that. You know what I mean? I don't feel part of a group. You know, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't eat donuts.
You drink coffee.
I do drink coffee. I
Okay,
do drink
so
coffee.
you decided to go an alternate route. So and so you find your life coach how?
I found it through my accountant, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. How did
Yeah.
that did you say I'm trying to get I'm getting sober and I need help? What did you do? What'd you say?
Yeah, I just started to talk about drinking and talked to her about Billy and the whole thing that we went through, and because that was really a heavy thing on my mind and heart and everything. I couldn't believe that it happened. You're able to pay your credit cards as soon as they come in, and then all of a sudden you can't do that. The money has run out.
Okay, now you have to tell the story of why your money so drastically ran out so suddenly. Because it wasn't just the gig you lost. You made a certain decision with your ex-wife, didn't you?
I did. It's stupid. It's really stupid. Hi,
Because
Anna.
you've been with Billy for 30 years, so you had amassed quite
Yeah.
some good.
Oh, yeah. They when they say, "Oh, you're a millionaire on paper," because you got houses, you got all kinds of stuff, you got those, what do you call it, stock things and all that bullshit. Anyway, so the mistake I made was when we got divorced, she wanted X amount of dollars. You split everything 50-50. Then she said, I want this much money in alimony and I want it for 20 years or whatever. And I said, listen, if I take my half, in 20 years, if I'm paying you this money, you'll be getting that half. I said, why don't you just take it all now? And I never, ever want to have to speak to you again. When I told my accountant that I did that, she told me, she said I was an idiot.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And then what happens right after you do that?
But I still had Billy, right? So I was still making money. When I moved back to New York, I didn't have any money. The accounts were locked up, and I just called the office. I said, can you give me 10 grand? Thanks. Okay. And they send it to you, stuff like that, because they know
Yeah,
we're going to road again.
right.
And then that ended. Billy ended. No phone call, no nothing. Ended.
Okay, all right. We have to talk about this, Liberty, because I've gotten different versions of this over the years. And now this special comes out and says a completely different version of it, which I never knew that Cooch was involved in this thing that happened. But how much, okay, you've told me a lot of stories about Billy's loyalty, right? When
Yes.
George Martin wanted to produce you guys, what happened? What did Billy say?
George Martin wanted to produce Billy, but he wanted to use studio musicians. This is like right when we were on the Turnstiles tour.
Mhm.
The
Very
next
beginning for you, right?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first album I did with him. The next album we're going to do eventually becomes The Stranger, right? So George Martin says, I love you, Billy. It's great. I want to take you in the studio, but I want to use studio musicians." And Billy says, "Love me, love my band." I mean, to
Well,
turn down George Martin.
that's loyalty out the way. And I know how important the
Yeah,
Beatles were to you, and I assume they were
yeah,
to Billy as well.
yeah,
So, okay, so there's that example. There's also another example. I remember once there wasn't room for you in a car or something, and Billy refused to get in the car. Is right?
yeah.
What's
Well,
that?
that was from when we went to play Paul McCartney's tribute to the first responders of the attack on the World Trade Towers. Right, that was about 8 days, maybe a couple of days after it happened.
Right.
So the New York City Police Department said that, "Oh, we can take you down there, to see and see the guys that are cleaning out the place." So we're getting in the car, and Billy took his security guy, and the tour manager wanted to go too. And so they got in the car, and there was 3 police in the car, and it was like there's no room for Liv. I can't get in. And Billy looked at him and said, "If Liv can't go, I'm not going." So we were like that. We had that kind of relationship.
Okay, so
We
now
were
that doesn't make sense, Lib, that Cooch goes in there and he says, you got to have a different band. You got to change your players, and then you're out, and Billy doesn't even talk to you. But I know there's more to the story because I know.
well,
Go ahead.
now the Cooch thing happened.
But see, now on the special, that's all that we see, really,
Yes,
right?
but what happened? Like what I say in my book was like I could have written the dirt, you know, but I did. I don't do that. I
Right.
don't do that. So what I did was I looked at Billy and tried to see why he does what he does. And the guy has had a career of over 50 years. You have to change. You can't stay the same. You know,
But you guys had had some personal stuff. I mean, first of all, the fact that you were sober and Billy notably was not, because he got
Right.
into a lot of trouble with alcohol and drugs after that. So I know someone else in the band that was quite an imbiber, and I'm sure that it wasn't fun for them to have you around when you weren't drinking anymore, I assume.
No, it wasn't. I walked in a bar once and Billy looked at me and goes, Why are you here? I feel like my mother's in the room. It's like,
E. Yeah, so I'm sure that that had something to do with it, right?
oh, yeah, yeah, that had something to do with it. There was something about that he heard that I said something
But
about
I know this story too. He go ahead, tell us the story.
that I was in a room with my ex-wife and Christie.
Hmm.
We were in Florida. So Christie comes up to our room and Billy had gone with one of the waitresses, so whatever, whoever she was. And Christy says, Lib, I want you to tell me, was Billy with, was so, and Carolyn was her name, that night? And I was like, no, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. My wife is going like, come on, Lib, you got to tell her. You got to tell her. I mean, so it's obvious that I know that this happened. So
Right.
in the end, now you got to remember when that happened, and he was with that woman, and the Krochmeyer thing happened. Krochmeyer was just there for the album,
Right.
the River of Dreams album. Billy said to me he would never do that again, like because he wanted to use his own guys. Who knew that that was going to be the last album he ever wrote, right? So, but
Oh, yeah.
I continued to tour for more than 10 years after that. So I stayed with him for that long. And it wasn't until he went out on the road in, when was that, 2002, 2003, something like that. That's when I found out that it was done. It was done. Now, I had to take it. My life coach, again, she told me, she goes, I don't know why you're putting such pressure on yourself. That's Billy. He would have done that to anybody. It's not just you. It's not you that he did it to. He would have done that to anybody. So when I was writing the book, I looked back and thought, like, why does he do this? Why does he do this? Part of it is he has to, because he has to. I was the only one there at that time. The only one left for 30 years. Everybody
Wait a
else left.
minute. Wait a minute. Really?
Canada was gone.
Where's Richie? When did Richie leave?
Oh, Canada left after Glass Houses
And how come he left?
because he was working with the Beach Boys. He started his own studio with Rick, whatever his name
So he
was.
left of his own accord. Uh-oh. You're frozen. Oh no, Liberty, come back. Oh no. This is can't be happening. I know Liberty's up in Woodstock. So we have to wait for Liberty to come back. Liberty, come back. Oh shoot. Oh. Can you see me? I've got to tell Liberty to go out and come back. This is where the story gets really good too. Oh no. Liberty, you're frozen. Ay, 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 ay. I don't know how to get him back. I don't know how to tell him to go out and come back. All right, I'm gonna now text Lib and tell him, ah, hopefully come back. Hopefully he's gonna come back. So it's just me now. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm looking down, but I'm telling Lib to come back. He's on his phone and he's on vacation, and it was so sweet for him to agree to do this while he was gone. Um, with his family. Come on, Lib. Oh, shit. All right, now I'm going to call him and hopefully he can come back. I hope he has internet. All right, we're going to call Liberty now on the phone and see if we can get him to come back. We're calling Liberty. You guys are giving me the care sign, huh? Stop. It won't let me stop
Your
this.
call has been forwarded to
Oh no.
718810456 is not available.
This is not good.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Liberty, come back in. All right, I don't know. I don't know. All right, should I tell you Liberty's whole story? I could tell you Liberty's whole story. I don't want to stop this and come back in and start over because that never seems to work very well. But remind me, you guys, to tell Liberty about what was in my nightlight today. And I've got this weird stars party starting, and I can't get Liberty back. Liberty, come back. Oh my God. Well, this is a professional show, isn't it? Come back, Liberty. Um, hopefully Liberty's gonna come back. I don't even know. Oh God. Yeah, we want him to come back. And I've got this weird stars thing going on that I can't stop. And I wonder if that messed things up for him. It'll be over in 42. Come on, Liberty. He's not writing me back, so I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have internet right now. He told me that he has internet. They're up by Woodstock. Ah, you're back. We can't see you, but I know you're back. Unmute, Liberty.
Good Liberty.
Oh, here you come.
Okay, here I come.
There you go.
Boy, that's panic.
Yeah, that was that was panic.
I hate that.
I'm sitting here and I didn't want to stop everything because I'm having a good hair day, Lib. So
Yeah, you have a great, you look great.
So, all right. So let's get back to the story. So,
Okay, so
all right. They said, how dare he leave us in the juiciest part? So, do you remember where you are?
yeah, we're talking
Okay,
about
good.
like why I wrote the book about Billy.
All
and
right,
the
wait. So
count-
Kanata is gone.
right.
Everybody's gone.
Kanata leaves because he's playing with the Beach Boys.
Right.
He just started a new studio with Rick Wake, and they're
Okay.
producing records. Cove City, he still has it. And he's doing so much stuff. I mean, he's producing records now and everything like that. And he's too busy, and he has to make a decision whether to go with Billy or continue his own career.
Right.
So he picks that. So now the band is just me and Russell, David Brown, and
Okay, so
Doug
Russell's
Stegmeyer.
also original, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And then the tragedy of Doug Stegmeyer killing himself because Billy cut him off with that.
Is
You know,
that why he killed himself?
yeah, I think so.
Oh
I think
God.
it was part of it. You know,
Now, why
I
did
mean,
Billy?
he was
Why did
he was a
Billy
bad
cut
he was bad, bad
addict?
drugs and alcohol. Yeah,
Is that why Billy cut him? Why did Billy cut him?
Billy cut him because Doug was a complainer. Doug would complain. You know, he once said to me, I don't like it when people solo because, you know, we're like just the workhorses. We got to keep playing when everybody else can just sit back and listen to the band, you know. So he complained a lot, wanted more money, you know, all that kind of stuff that you don't do when you're in a band.
And what year is this that when did he pass?
Gee, so he made it up to the Bridge album.
So how much longer were you with Billy after Doug was gone?
Well, Doug left after the Bridge album. So then there was what was after the Bridge? Stormfront. Oh, when Billy changed the entire band, but kept me. So I remember once we put in Australia.
Russell's not in the band anymore either?
Russell's not in the band anymore. He went at the same time as Doug. So we're in Australia, and Billy calls
Now,
me.
is that weird for you with them that you're still with the band?
So weird.
Oh my God, because you're friends for 30 years, all those years.
Russell, I knew him when he was 15 years old. We tried to start a band together.
That's right. You guys had a band before you guys were with Billy.
We were Topper and me, Russ, Doug, and this other guy, Howard Emerson, who plays with us on Turnstiles. So we were a band. We knew each other forever.
Did they get a cold kiss off the way you eventually did?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They heard about it on MTV.
What?
It was a news break that said that Billy's going in the studio, and this time only with drummer Liberty DeVitto.
Did you
And
hear from them immediately when that happened?
oh, the guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now,
And
did
also,
you already know about it in advance that this was going down?
yeah,
You
we were
did.
on tour in Australia, and Billy called me
Oh,
in his dressing room and he said, what if I went in the studio for the next album and I only brought you in? I'm like, what am I supposed to tell you? These are my friends. I mean, but I can't, I got kids I got to raise.
now, why do you think, Glib, he went from being this loyal guy who would turn down George Martin to be with you guys, and then he would turn into this guy that would just write people off without a word? Drugs and alcohol?
Well, I don't know if it was that, but be- besides the bad part was he did it without calling or without telling anybody, just like let you go. You
Right.
you know, there's a saying in the music business, you're not fired, you're just not asked to do the next tour. You know, that's what it's like.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna blow you up. There you are. Um, so you don't get that call. You don't get anything. You just hear it on the radio or you hear it, you know, that you're not going this time.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
And what was it like playing with him without your guys, with other guys?
It sucked in the beginning, you know, but then you know, it was like,
Yeah.
okay, we have this band, we're doing, it's really good. Stormfront came out great. You know, I loved Skylar, the bass player. Skylar Dealer, he's a great guy. The other guys in the band were cool. Crystal, it was the first time Crystal came in, you know. So Doug and Russell, they were out for Stormfront. And Phil Ramone, he used somebody else. Billy used somebody else besides Phil Ramone. He used
Oh,
what was his name? Mick Jones from Foreigner produced the Stormfront
wow.
album.
Was he kinder to Phil Ramone than he was to the musicians? Or did he give him the same kind of kiss off?
No, I think he actually told Phil that he was going to use somebody else. You know, when you're making records, either you have a band like the Beatles, and then after the same amount of records that I played on with Billy, that's how many records the Beatles made. They broke up because they didn't want to kiss each other off and like, you know, Paul leave and get another keyboard player that sings like me, you know.
Yeah.
So Billy was the artist. His name is on the marquee, you know. So he was able to let us go.
And what was your relationship with him like personally at that point when the other guys were gone? And were you guys still the same?
Pretty much, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. But right before that is when he got hit by his brother-in-law,
Oh
and all that
boy.
money was gone. So that's when he said, you know, me and
Okay,
Doug.
for everybody out there that doesn't know, just bring them up to speed that there was embezzlement of a lot of money,
A
right?
lot of
All
money.
of it.
Yes, yes, yes,
And this was his first wife's brother.
brother. Yes, yes. She was leaving the business. She couldn't take it anymore.
Now
You
you were
know.
good friends with her, weren't you?
Oh yeah, still am.
Still,
Yeah,
oh,
Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth.
and she was amazing, and what a huge part of his career. I had no idea until I saw it, and so it goes, right? I had no idea.
Well, that's why she did it. She never did an interview. Never. This was the first time that she got to tell her side of the story and what it was like, because a lot
Wow.
of people would talk about her and it would be all wrong what they're saying, you know. Like
Wow.
she
So
made Billy in the
is
beginning.
she the one that who initiated the documentary? Do you know?
Oh, Steve Cohen. You know Steve, the lighting designer. He's been Billy's lighting designer forever.
And so he's the one that, and do you know what his intention was in doing the documentary? I mean, because it's amazing. And Billy does come off human and like a jerk, but also very fallible. But we understand, we get it, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I think he could have took a little more responsibility for things that he did, but
Well,
you
that,
know,
yeah.
I didn't know as much about his past, like when he was a kid,
Hmm.
about that
His
stuff.
father and
When he said his father smacked him in the back of the head and knocked him down, I was shocked. I never heard that before.
Uh-huh. And also trying to get his father's love so much later in
Yes.
life. That was heart-wrenching.
And that's probably why no one could ever get close to him. He always
Mm.
kept people at arm's length, you know?
Mm.
I mean, I was probably the closest that ever got to him, you know,
Wow.
because we were together all the time. We were, even wives didn't do what we did together, you know?
Wow. And so Elizabeth was a huge part of his success.
Huge,
Huge.
huge.
Now, was she tough on you guys? Because it seemed in there she was a bit of a taskmaster, right? Was that a
Yeah.
drag, or did you totally get it even then?
Well, we loved her, but we would, like she says, we were hooligans just out on the road. You know, she had to take care of us. She had to clean up the messes that we made, you know. And also, don't forget, this is 1976 when she comes in, and it's a man's world that she's walking into now.
Mm.
And she's got to be very forceful. It was amazing that she was able to do what she did.
Unbelievable. I had no idea. It was shocking to see that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's great. It's great that it came out and she's vindicated in this way,
yeah.
given the credit she deserves.
To tell a record company when they don't hear a single on the Stranger album, you know, like, okay, here's the deal. You pick the first one, I'll pick the second one. And the second
And
one was just the way you are.
what was the first one? I don't even remember
Moving
now.
out, moving out.
Which is a great song.
Yeah, the
But boy,
company picks moving out. She picks just the way you are.
which
And it
is
won the
interesting.
Grammy.
I heard McCartney say that if there's
Yeah,
one song he wished he would have written, it was that.
yeah,
Wow. I mean, for Paul to say that is
yeah. No kidding.
insane. Wow. Oh my God. So, okay. So you were able, did you keep your friendship with her all the way through, or did you go back and be friends with her again after?
Well,
We,
because when they broke up, she went her way and he was, you know, with a band. He always
right.
stayed together. But she would come out and visit a couple of times. You know, we'd see her there, we'd give her hugs and stuff like that. And then after, when I was going after him for intellectual properties, not for songwriting, just intellectual properties, because we made videos to promote the albums. That's
Right.
all they were supposed to do was promote the albums.
Right.
But then they were being sold in Walmart. They're being sold in. So I wanted money. I played my likenesses on there.
Right.
That's what I went after him for
It
after we
wasn't about
parted
only the
ways.
good die young and stuff that you actually had direct impact on.
No, no, he wrote the songs fine, you know.
Although tell that story, Liberty, because that's just a great story about only the good die young, which is my favorite Billy Joel song.
But when he came in, it was written as a reggae tune first. You know, he
Which I
wrote it.
can't even imagine. How did it go? I can't even imagine.
Come out to Virginia, just don't let me wait. Take it back to the just not much too late. I was like, man, this sucks. It really, we're in the studio, right? We're in the studio. And you know, he remembers me throwing sticks at him and stuff like that. And I said, like, dude, the closest you've been to Jamaica is the Jamaica train station down Long Island Railroad, where you change trains to go further out in the island. You know?
Oh my
And then
God.
I come up with this thing, which was actually I took it from a Jimi Hendrix album. There's a song called "Up from the Skies" that Mitch Mitchell does the same beginning, and it's that quick, like that thing,
Right.
you know. And it went over well.
Wow. 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 Okay, so you hadn't been in touch with Elizabeth in all those years, and then when you had your lawsuit, so how did you guys,
He called me. He called me, and she goes, "It's about time somebody went and got what they deserve."
what was
Somebody,
her feeling about what her brother did?
I don't think she ever talked about it. She never talked about it.
And is she still friends with Billy?
Yeah, they talk.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know, I guess just casual, you know.
Did she get what she deserved from all that she did?
Oh yeah, in the beginning when they split up.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. But she never got the recognition for what she did
Right.
until this
Right.
documentary. Because when the documentary was being put together, she called me up and she said, "You're going to get a call from these people. They're doing a documentary. It sounds like it's going to be good. I'm going to do it because I'm going to tell my side of the story that people have been screwing up all these years trying to speak for me. I'm going to speak myself." She goes, "You should do it and speak what you feel." You know,
But you didn't really tell in the documentary what happened to you.
well, now I did when I was interviewed.
Oh, they left it out.
Yes, when Billy talks
Oh.
about why we parted ways, which I was surprised that was in there, really, that he would say something about it. I guess he must have been getting a lot of, like, why did you let Lib go? Why did you? Because I was the sound. I,
Except he blamed it all on Korchmar, right? It all comes off sounding like it's Korchmar's fault.
well, of
Although
course, not.
Billy does say we were having some issues personally. He did say that,
That was the thing about what happened with
the
uh,
wives.
and then he said something about the tempos were
Yeah, and
different.
what was
Yeah,
that?
he was slowing down. We do Angry Man, and I'd be playing really fast, and he would look at me and go, "Slow down, damn it, slow down." So,
Uh,
you know,
okay, so tell how you found out that you were no longer in the band. That this is so crazy.
I Billy was getting married again to
This is
his,
after Christie,
yeah, this is number three.
number three.
Number three. So I
We've
called
been
up.
there and done that. Well, I haven't technically, but yeah.
I got three. So anyway, I call up. I didn't get an invitation to the wedding. Right, it was getting close to the date that he was getting married. I had heard about it, and I called up the keyboard player, Dave Rosenthal, and I said, "Well, I guess we're not being invited to the wedding." And he said, "I got an invitation."
Ouch.
Oh no! And that's when I tried to call people and find out what's going on, and everybody was like, "Hush, hush." They wouldn't say anything, you know. I can't talk about what's going on with Billy or else I'll get fired too. You know the way Billy is. So that's what really hurt. Where people they wouldn't talk about it anymore. They wouldn't even talk to me.
Were you friends with Tommy Burns? Like I've known Tommy since as long as I've known you, and he came in the late 80s. And was that a hard transition for you, or was that?
Yes,
Yeah.
very hard.
Mm-hmm.
That was very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tommy butt heads
Mm-hmm.
like a lot. I think Tommy was one of the guys because I was there. I was the highest paid guy in the band ever.
Oh,
Billy told me
oh,
that.
even more than the MD.
Yes. And I was there the longest.
Right.
And I felt like when there was the whole new band and I was the only one that was connected to the records, that everybody wanted my spot. Everybody wanted that spot
Right.
and tried to be close to Billy.
Well, and also he was his drinking buddy, and you were no longer that.
Well, he was his drinking buddy, and I think it was not good.
Yeah.
Not to say anything bad about Tommy, and he does what he does, and Billy likes it. He's still there, and you know,
So now, but Billy's gotten sober.
yes, yes.
Is the rest of the band still party? Like, is the rest of the band sober, or is that not a thing?
I have no idea. I know Crystal was sick, so
Hmm.
she doesn't drink anymore. She is a cancer survivor now.
Wow.
Um, I don't know anything about Mark. Dave Rosenthal never really
Hmm.
was crazy. Um, Tommy, I don't know what he does. I don't talk to Tommy, and I mean, once my band, the Slim Kings, we're doing really well on the internet and all that kind of. We just got a
I
million, whatever they call them.
hits, and I know you got a record. You got a record deal last year,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and he wrote once with it, Slim Pickens are really good. You know, he wrote that on something, and I couldn't believe it was. Is that the right Tommy Burns that's writing this? You know. So, yeah, it was just weird. It was just weird. But I'm still friends with the. I'm still close to Crystal, very close to Crystal. And Dave Rosenthal. As a matter of fact, we're doing a David Fishoff camp. Me and Crystal and Dave with Felix Cavalieri and Mark Farner and a bunch of those
Nice.
people. Yeah.
So now, do you know when Billy got, because Billy's first marriage fell apart because of the drinking, right? That's what the implication was in the special anyway, in
Yeah.
the doc.
Yeah.
Um, do you know when and why he finally got sober?
I think this having two daughters, two new ones
Hmm.
now. He's got three in total. I think he may have gotten the ultimatum like I did. You know, I can't take it anymore. I'm not going to live like this.
Hmm.
I mean that'll do it. Especially when you see the little faces running around. It's like
Oh,
we used to
okay.
say that when we were touring, and we were like hammered and stuff like that. And we used to look at each other and go, "Oh, when are we going to stop doing this?" And he goes, "When you hear in the other room, dear God, I wish my daddy would stop drinking."
Oh my God. And so now you have grown daughter. You have May who's 8, but you have grown daughters, one who's a
Yes,
very successful actress, Tori.
good.
And your other two, I met one who's was she a
You met
stylist?
Marielle.
A hair
Marielle.
yeah.
Yeah, she went
Um,
on the road with Fleetwood Mac and was styling their hair and stuff like that.
Unbelievable, fantastic.
And then
Did
my other
now
one, Devin, the
yeah.
oldest one, is a nurse. She's a nurse in
Wow.
Philadelphia. And I have two grandchildren now, too.
Oh my, we're from who? From which one?
Marielle, the stylist,
Yeah.
the little girl, 4 years old, and Tori now has one that's 9 months.
Oh my. Oh yeah, yeah, I live. What a blessing. So now you're older. So Tori and Marielle, and you were a road dog when they were growing up, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So how were they grateful when you got sober?
yes,
Did they know what was going on with you before that?
yeah,
They
yeah,
did.
yeah. They did. They knew girls, and they knew everything. They weren't stupid. I mean, I was getting high and smoking pot and drinking in front of them. They were in the house. I had friends over. One time I had a friend over, Jojo, uh, and would listen. I had a gigantic stereo. I mean, it had gigantic speakers. It could go really loud. We're blasting Leonard Skinner, and we're drinking so much wine. Those magnums were flying. And Tori walks out and goes, "Dad, can you please turn it down? We're trying to sleep." But it should be the opposite way around. I remember JoJo looking at me going like, "Whoa, that was weird, man."
Oh my God. So now do they forgive you all of that? Because I know you're
Yes,
very close with your girls.
yes, yes, they do forgive me. I mean, yeah, Simmons. A couple of them it was hard in the beginning, especially
Hmm.
Marielle. She was when I got divorced from her mother. She was only like 14. That's a tough. Tori was
Yeah,
19, already going out to California.
right.
So that was hard for Marielle. But we're good now.
Well, I saw you two together. You were great when I
Yeah.
saw you. And then how about, so you've got this little one, May. We're going to talk about Anna in a minute, but so May only knows you as a sober dad, right?
Yes. Only knows me as a sober dad, and loves to come to the Lord's, the Lord's of 52nd Street shows. And she'll sit behind me on the by the drum set. And she's got sticks. I got videos of her with sticks, like just following what I do.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, that's too cute. So, okay, so tell us about the Lords of 52nd Street because you're not a tribute band, that's for sure.
No, no, because it's me, Richie, and Russell, and who played on the albums and did all those tours with Billy. As a matter of fact, it's funny because we played this place, the Suffolk Theater out in Riverhead. all the time. We play at least twice a year. We become like the house band there and stuff like that. So the last time we played it, it was packed. They had to turn people away. And it's been because of the documentary,
Oh,
you know.
yeah, sure.
So when I get up to speak on the microphone, it's like right after I do Angry Young Man. And so I go up to the microphone and I just looked at the microphone and I go, so now do you believe that we played with Billy Joel?
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
this has changed everything for you guys.
Yeah, it really has. And Richie is back. I mean, he's playing beautifully.
You know,
You
we
know,
were in New York a year ago and we were going to go down to Richie's Jam at the bitter end, but he was out, he wasn't feeling well, so he wasn't there that week when we
oh,
were in town.
he was down for the count. They gave him like 1% chance to live.
Well, I didn't know this.
Oh God, yeah. That big vein that's in your back, what's it called? Your aorta or something
Well,
like
that's
that?
in the heart.
Well, whatever it is, one of
Yeah.
those big things it ripped.
Oh,
They call what he had. They call it the widowmaker.
that yes, yeah.
That's what happened to him. He was in a coma for like 2 months.
Oh my God. Oh
He was
wow.
couldn't talk. He couldn't do anything. His fingers were black. His tongue was black. His toes, everything.
Oh my
Relation.
God.
Yeah. But he told the doctors, "I'm going to play that instrument again."
And so how long has he been back playing?
I'd say he's been back since the beginning of the summer now. We've been
So
doing
this
gigs with
is
him.
brand new that he's,
Oh yeah.
wow, I had no idea. Oh
I mean, his
my.
wife, Charlene, has to come with him every time when he comes because he needs somebody to help him out, But
He's able
it's a
to
miracle.
blow or is he playing on the
Yeah, no,
keyboards?
he's able to blow and blow
Wow.
like he used to, even stronger.
Wow.
He's a miracle.
That's incredible.
This-
So the Lords of 52nd Street took some time off, I guess.
Yeah, well, we had time off for COVID, and then we started to play again, and then Richie, it hit. We had to make the decision: do we go on without Richie? Do we replace him or not? So I said, look, we're not going to replace him because this is what's going to keep him alive, that he's going to want to come back. He's going to want to
Oh,
do it. So we won't replace him. I played on over 100 Billy Joel songs. Not all of them had sax on them. Let's do those songs instead.
oh,
So
I
no, Just
see.
the Way You Are, no New York State of Mind. At
Wow.
one point, we did the entire Nylon Curtain album that doesn't have any sax on it.
Wow. That's very loyal and lovely. Mary Ellen is asking, do you play with Mike Del Gucci from Big Shot?
Mike Del Mike Del
How
Mike
do you,
Del Judas is his name.
okay,
Del Judas.
Judas. Yeah.
No, I did once. My brother Sal used to play with Mike Del Judas before he got with Billy, and my brother Sal couldn't make a gig once. I played with him. I know Mike. I know Mike well.
So
Good guy.
while we're talking about that, we've never talked about the other people that you've played with. So did you play with the Beach Boys because of Richie? Is that how that happened for you?
No, the Beach Boys. When we started touring on the Turnstiles tour, we opened up for the Beach Boys. That's how Richie
Oh,
met the Beach Boys. Yeah,
oh.
we did tours. We played Chicago Stadium with no billing at all. Do you know what it's like to have a full stadium of people? The house lights go out. The people are going crazy, crazy. House lights come on, and you hear people go, hey, ah,
Oh
we're getting
no.
hit with beach balls and everything like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
And so
that was hard.
you
That was
played with
that's
them when Brian Wilson was like still fantastic.
Brian was kind of in and out.
Oh, he was already in and
Dennis,
out?
Dennis was
Mm.
there. Carl, he was fantastic. Carl was great to us.
Mm.
Dennis could never remember my name. I don't know why, but he used to call me New York all the time. Hey, New York, come here. Yeah, hey, New York.
So now, all right, you played with Karen Carpenter, which freaks me.
Yes.
She was a great drum. Did you think she was? I think she was a great drummer. She was a good drummer.
Yeah.
What? Why did she use you? Why did she need you?
Well, Phil wanted me to play on her songs. Because Phil wanted her to sing, just sing.
Right.
Don't play, just sing. You know, she did sit on the drums and play, you know. It's great. There's videos of her playing and stuff, and she's great.
She died so long ago. When did you play with her?
When we were making glass houses, so it was 79.
So that was sort of the kind of the end of her life, right?
Yeah, she was not well.
Yeah.
Not well. When you hugged her, it was like there was nothing there, you know?
But she could still sing her ass
Oh
off.
my God, she could sing.
Oh
She could
God.
sing. And she was just a beautiful person. Just,
Mm.
great sense of humor.
That was before there was a name for anorexia. I
Yeah.
believe. I don't even think there was a name for it then.
Yeah.
She kind of made it a thing. But you've played with a lot of incredible women. You've played with Carly Simon. What was that like? What was the occasion for
That
that?
was so great. I remember we did this one song called Wives in Connecticut. And we're there, Carly's there, and the bass player has to fly in from Jamaica. He was on vacation, so he's flying in. He's getting there a little late. And we're trying to get a drum thing going on, and it's getting nothing. So uh, the bass player comes in, right? Neil Jason was the bass player. He comes in and he goes, I got some gifts for everybody. And he hands everybody the gifts and he gives me that little thing. You know, you go like this and it goes blip, 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 blip. The little thing going
Yeah.
blip, 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 blip. I went, oh, this is cool. And I started to hit it with a drumstick and go, bup, 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 bup. And Phil said, that's it. That's it. That's what we want on the record. And if you listen to the record, it's that little thing with me
Oh
playing it on the
my God.
drumstick.
Isn't it crazy that things like that can happen?
Yeah, yeah. And
Wow.
Carly, she was great. I mean, she was really nice. I brought Tori. She was when Tori was born, and brought Tori there when she was little, and she was holding her, and just really nice.
Oh, that's so sweet. And I know you also played with Phoebe, who
Oh, Phoebe.
was a friend. Now, on what occasion did you play with Phoebe?
Phoebe, we did a couple of songs with her when we were doing the Stranger album. After the Stranger album came out, everybody wanted us to play with them.
So, in other words, you would do this concentrated time with Billy, and then you could do other things when you weren't with Billy.
Yes, yes. And Phil used us on a lot of different things. Yeah, and Phoebe was one of them.
I see. So Phil
Uh,
Ramone was producing her, and so that's how.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
But then we went on the road with Phoebe.
You did?
Yeah,
What year was that?
Me and Russell and David Brown,
Wow.
the band. We went on the road. Yeah,
What year was that?
it had to be like after the making of Glass Houses, before we started the Glass Houses tour. And
Wow.
the thing that was amazing about Phoebe is that she used to blow up a rubber raft before she sang, just to get her lungs going.
What a voice on
Oh
her.
my
Oh
God, what
my
a
God.
voice!
Oh my, but speaking of voices, you spent a lot of time with Ronnie Spector. Now, how did that happen?
That was great. I was playing in a house band with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We played all the special events that the only thing we didn't play was the induction. But in
Right.
the band was myself, Jeff Carlisi from 38 Special, Ricky Byrd, Joe Jett the Blackhearts, Will Lee was in the band,
Wow.
Rob Arthur, who plays with Peter Frampton, and once in a while, Paul Shaffer would come and sit in with us, and we would play these events that they would do to raise money for the Hall of Fame, and they would have about 8 to 10 different artists come and do two songs, like the guy that sang Duke of Earl, the guy that wrote "Life Is a Highway," and Ronnie Spector was one of them. And
Uh-huh.
we played, and she heard me, and then I got a call from Jonathan, her husband, who was managing her, and said, "Would you like to play with Ronnie?" I was like, "Yeah, you know,
Well,
because
so
if
how
you're gonna play
you
with somebody that's rock and roll, it's gonna be Ronnie."
now were you still with Billy at that point?
No,
Okay, that was after. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
So you were able to be her drummer because you were with her for a number of years, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I know that one of the things, or maybe the thing that inspired you to go into music and to be a drummer was the Beatles, right?
Yes.
Okay, so have you had interaction with Beatles, Liberty?
Yes, I met Ringo on occasions,
Now I
and
know that your wife, you didn't your wife work for him when you met her?
yeah, she worked for David Fishoff, who was managing Ringo at that time, and she used to have to hang out with Ringo,
Oh,
like
she had to, poor thing.
go to the airport and sit with him when he was waiting for his flight and stuff like that. And they would talk and chat, and she would always tell me he was such a great guy, and I was like, I had met him before, and when I met
You
Ringo,
had met him before?
oh yeah, when I
Under
met
what
Ringo,
context?
when he did his first All-Star band with Levon Helm was in the band and Nils Lofgren was in the band and Dr. John.
Wow.
So when I met Ringo, I said to him, I said, Ringo, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And he just said, well, thank you for not blaming me for it.
Oh
So,
God.
so, um, uh, so yeah, Annie used to work for him. So when I started dating women after I was getting divorced, and the first question was always like, "What's it like being Billy Joel's drummer?" And what's he really like? It's like, sick of that stuff, you know. So when I met Anna, she didn't really care about Billy Joel's drummer. It was like she knew Ringo. What is he, Billy Joel's drummer? So what? You know?
Was she a Billy Joel fan?
Nah,
No, not really.
no.
No.
She's in the U2 age. She
She's
loves
young.
U2.
She's younger. Yeah.
Yeah. We had dinner with Larry Mullen, the drummer for U2, when we were over in Ireland. It was hard enough for her to just like not say something, like
Oh, and what about, did you ever meet George? Have you met Sir Paul?
I played with Paul
Well,
in
you
the
played with
studio.
Paul at the thing for 9/11, right? That's
In the studio, I played. We did two songs. One of them was "It's a Beautiful Night." Uh, is that what? Yeah, "It's a Beautiful Night," and it's on the when he put out what album was it that he put out that it's on? I can't remember. Pipes of Peace. He put out an album, I think it was called, and it came out as a box set, and in that box set is me playing. And he
and
released
so
it as
what
a
was that
single.
like for you?
Oh man, let me tell you something. Phil Ramone was going to put this all together. So Phil says, "Come to the studio early, and you got to set up and everything like that. Set your drums up. I want everything to be perfect when he walks in." So we're listening to tapes, and I'm thinking on the way there, I'm thinking like, what does he want with me? This is Paul McCartney. What are you kidding me? He doesn't know who I am, you know. So first, this is when he was with Linda, married to Linda.
Right.
So Linda walks in first into the control room, and she points right at me and goes, "I know who you are. We've been watching your videos, but the videos that I do with Billy."
Right.
I'm like, "Whoa, really?" You know. Then he walks in. It was like Moses parting the Red Sea, man.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, he, I shook his hand, told him my name, and then he, moved on to the next guy. And I had to leave the control room to go in the hall and like tell myself, you got to settle down. This guy is just another musician. It's like the devil is on this side and the angel's on this side.
Wow.
This guy's just another musician. No, he's not. He's a Beatle. It was tough, but then we got along. It was great. We did a song. We took a break. We ate pizza. We talked about children. It was great.
Wow. But so when you met Ringo, it was earlier.
Yeah. So I met Ringo first, then the whole thing.
Because you must have had like similar feeling about meeting Ringo. You're a drummer. I mean, I
Oh
can't
God,
even.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Um,
know, it's funny because on one of the All-Star bands that Felix Cavalieri played on, which was a later All-Star band, I remember going to see them. I was living in Orlando at the time, going to see them, and I brought my daughters. I brought Tori and Marielle with me, and Marielle was really small. She was probably about 4 years old, and they wanted me to play "Little Help from My Friends" with Ringo, and I had played it once before with him.
wow.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
You left that out of your story. You played
Oh,
with Ringo. That's
oh yeah.
crazy.
So they call me up to come up, and I'm like, I can't. Marielle fell asleep on my shoulder.
Oh,
I can't go up. I can't go.
oh, oh.
I didn't go.
Something that Ringo would appreciate and understand, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God, that's crazy. What did you
Yeah.
think of Get of the documentary, the Get Back documentary? Wasn't that amazing?
Let me tell you something. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We've watched it twice through all the way. Yeah,
You
it's
know, it was like it was like we were like that in the studio too, where we messed around and did other people's songs and everything like that. But the difference was that Phil Ramone had more of a finger on us, like, okay, boys, it's time to work. Where the Beatles could just do whatever they wanted to do.
Did
You
you
know,
know that Paul was so I had no idea that he was the glue that held all of that together. Did you know that?
I had heard that he
Hmm.
was, that well, in interviews, Ringo always said that we'd get the phone call and we didn't want to go in the studio, but Paul was the one that insisted us going in. The thing that was amazing to me was they're doing what we knew as Let It Be album, but all the songs that they were singing and trying to work out became on the Abbey Road album.
Right.
So they were way ahead of themselves already.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And you just to see them work and see Ringo just sitting there listening to what's going on around him.
And he
You
was
know,
never in the drama, never in the
no,
drama.
no. And then he's playing parts. But then when he gets on the roof, he becomes Ringo. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh
But
my God.
it was also nice to see that like Yoko and Linda didn't have any kind of bad stuff going. They seemed lovely together.
No. And
They were
everybody
lovely.
says Yoko broke up the Beatles. No, she didn't. George had those two guru guys in there with him.
And George is the one who left twice during that
Right, right,
period, right?
right. John walking in, and then there was three.
Yeah, it was pretty. On October 29th, we're going to see McCartney in New Orleans, and it's my 70th birthday. And Brian Ray is a good friend of Snuffy, so maybe we'll get to go back and meet Sir Paul.
That'd be
But I
great.
have met Ringo a bunch of times, and he's lovely. He's just
He
as
is.
lovely as can be.
He
It's
really
not.
is.
It's not. So was Paul lovely?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so where are we now, Lib? So Slim Kings have you're doing a lot of stuff. You've got a
A, mil-
deal.
a million views on
Uh,
on Instagram or whatever it is.
and
TikTok.
are you running around doing shows? What are you doing?
Well, we're starting to. We put the album isn't out yet. I mean, the record company has been releasing one single every 6 weeks.
Tell us about the Slim Kings. What kind of music do you guys do?
Well, we started out as a like kind of a anti, angry band, like we would do things like just tell me some truth and uh, songs like that, soldier on, those kind of things. This last album that we decided, let's just do the I Love You album. Let's do that one. So
Although the
we
Soldier On would actually be very applicable right now. We kind of
oh,
need
so
that, don't we?
oh yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, we did a song called Greed on the old days, and we did a
Mhm.
video with all these people that have robbed, uh, the people and companies that they have millions of dollars, crazy stuff. But so the I Love You album, we thought let's do the I Love You album. We're two of us are married. We know enough about like how to keep a relationship together. I'm a pro at it. I should be good at it now. Let's do the I Love You album. So we went back and how what do you call it when you listen to something and you refer to it? Yeah, we
Referenced.
referenced. Thank you. Al Green, um, all those all R&B things. As a matter of fact, we referenced Barry White so much on a song called Super Love that we did that somebody said that really sounds so much like Barry White.
Wow.
You need to contact his people. And we actually gave him 25% of the song because it's like, yeah, we did.
Wow.
We didn't sample it. We actually played it, but we're willing to give you 25% of the song.
That's
And,
good. Rather than get into a lawsuit later, much better.
yes, let's
Yeah.
do it now.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do it
yeah.
now. We know that we love Barry and we just wanted to sound like him,
Hmm.
So that the album, which we did 14 songs for the record, but you can't put them on an album because albums don't fit 14 songs.
Right.
So we had to pick and choose which ones are going on there. And it
Although,
comes out,
why does that even matter anymore? Everything is streamed. It's
well,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like albums. Does anybody buy albums? I mean, what? I don't know.
Yeah, people buy albums. They reissue albums all the time. Album vinyl is a big deal with the
Well,
kids
yeah,
these days.
vinyl with the kids.
You know, yeah. So it comes out in September, towards the end of September. The album. It's called Super Love.
And so then you guys will go on a tour in support of Super Love.
Yeah, we're going up in November to Canada to do a bunch of gigs because that's where the record company is. They're up there.
And then the Lords of 52nd Street. How much do you guys play out?
Oh, we're going to play out now that Richie's back. Much more. We're going down to Florida, around New York area,
And for
Pennsylvania.
those of you who don't know, you guys do the music of Billy Joel because it's your music.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, we did the
yes.
songs that we played on the
And
record.
do you ever get did you ever get blowback from Billy's people about that?
No, no. We asked Billy in the beginning. We said, "Would you mind if we called the original Billy Joel band?" He goes, "No, that's who you are. You guys are you know
So let's
the
touch on that for a minute. So you and Billy did finally make peace.
yes."
How did that come to be and when was that?
It all happened because of the knee.
The knee?
The knee.
How so?
It was so painful, the knee, that I thought my career was over. I thought it was done. I was done. My knee, my right knee came to the bass drum. I'm done.
Oh God.
So one night laying in bed, I thought, I've lost everything. If I can't play the drums, I was playing at the Lords. I have my friends back, Richie and Russell. I got the songs
Oh,
back.
how did you guys reconcile?
Oh, we were inducted into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. I almost didn't go because I was still mad about the whole thing.
Wait, why were you mad? You were the one that was still in the band. They were out.
No, I was done. This is after me and Billy parted ways.
Well, right. You and Billy had parted ways, but you were with Billy after they got kicked out. So I would
Oh,
think
yeah,
they'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
mad at you.
Yeah, but I was mad. I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. I didn't want to go back there and do music and all that kind of stuff like that. But then when I did it, we played like two songs and
Oh, wait a
Ron,
minute. You mean
Ron
with
Delson.
Billy?
No, no, no.
No,
Just
that's okay. I'm
me,
getting
Russell, and
confused.
Richie. Me, Russell,
Right,
and
right,
with other guys.
right,
We played 2 or 3 songs at the Long Island Music Hall of Fame where we got
right.
inducted.
Inducted.
Ron Delsner was there,
Uh-huh.
and he said to us, he said, "You guys need to put this together and go out and play this because you're the real guys that are doing it."
When,
So,
when we went to see, I think it was Foreigner, a friend of ours plays in Foreigner, and there's no original guys in
no,
Foreigner.
no,
So you're more of a real band than a lot of these bands that are going out under the name
I
of
know,
the band, right?
I know. Yeah, like we go play with bands from Australia and stuff like that, and there's no original guys in the band.
Yeah.
Really funny.
So okay, so how oh, so that so but why were you were just mad because of the whole Billy Joel thing? You weren't mad
Yeah.
at Russell.
No, no, no.
No,
I
no,
just thought
no.
it was
Okay.
ridiculous that we're going to go and, we could talk about Billy and fuck that,
So okay, so what made you change that? And I know you wrote your book. Did your reconciliation with Billy have to do with your book? Liberty, Life, Billy, and the Pursuit of Happiness. Did those things correspond?
It wasn't until the book was written.
Hmm.
Um, after I had written it and I had talked about my life with Billy, I thought, I've got everything back. I got Russell, I got Richie, I got the songs. I just don't have the guy I looked at for 30 years in the
Mhm.
studio and live. We always looked at each other, you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I wrote him an email and I said, hey, I was a little disappointed at the way we ended. And he wrote me back immediately and said, so was I. So I said, we're coming to Florida. The Lord's coming to Florida. Let's have a meal together. I said, I'll meet you for dinner. He goes, I put the girls to bed at this night. That's when I knew that he must be sober because he was talking about putting his daughters to bed,
Oh.
you know. So he says, how about we meet for breakfast? And he gave me an address to meet him at. It was a little diner nobody goes to,
Were you nervous about it?
No, not
No.
really.
Okay.
No. And so we ate, we talked about our children, old and new. And it was just great. It was just like two guys standing on a bridge with the old troubled waters going under the bridge, but we were just talking like,
And when you saw each other, there was no awkwardness or anything?
no. He did.
Wow.
He did ask me. He said, like, why did you want to meet like this? I was like, nostalgia. Like we're getting old. I want to see him again because he's sick. You know, Everybody always said, like, to me, always asked me, goes, what would you do if you saw Billy on the street? Like, this was when I was still mad at him,
Right.
And I said, I'd give him a big hug and tell him that I love him. I'd kiss him on the cheek and tell him I love him. When we ended our little meal, I had pancakes, he had eggs and bacon and stuff. It was funny because he said, "Oh, you having pancakes?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, that's right. You're playing tonight. You can burn it off." Yeah. So he put his helmet on because he had his motorcycle, and it was going to start to rain, so he had to get home. And I said, "I'll see you, Billy." And then I said, "I love you." And I hugged him and I gave him a kiss. And I said, "I love you, Billy." And he looked at me and he said, "I love you too, Lib." And we just walked away from each other.
And have you been in touch at all since?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We go back and forth all the time. I've had a meal with him. I drove out to when he's on Long Island.
Oh,
I
nice.
said, when you come up, I want to see you, because he's not doing well now.
So, okay, so have you seen him since he's been sick?
No, I haven't, but I've emailed back and forth
Hmm.
with him. I mean, we still joke and stuff like that. We're talking about what it's like to be old and go to the bathroom, you pee. He goes, I sound like I'm doing a drum solo when I pee. I said, yeah, well, my pee is like ambidextrous. I can pee in the bowl and on my right foot at the same time. You know,
God. And how is his attitude with this whole thing going on with his health?
he said, I don't know. See if we can fix it. But my balance is off, and you know,
Okay, so we have to end with this. So the last time you did this show was exactly 3 years ago.
wow.
But it was August 24th. Today's the 27th. And
Okay.
on that day that you and I had this little sit down, I told you about my book Nightlight, which I read every day, which is a little inspirational book for people that are in the 12 steps, right? Sober
Yeah.
people. And the quote on August 24th, the message is, it's okay if you mess up. You should give yourself a break. Billy Joel. Gives me goosebumps just saying that. I mean, what is like that? What are the odds that,
Yeah.
that it was that very day that we chatted and now it's just 3 days later and here we are again and Billy Joel. Um, I love you and I'm so happy to see you and I'm so happy to see you doing so well. And I can't believe your body is holding up with all the wear, all the
It's
wear and
amazing.
tear.
Amazing. I mean, this
Unbelievable.
thing's little nicks and, you know, I get
You're
my heart checked every 6 months.
Well, you look terrific. You sound great. I'm so happy to see you. Are you guys going to come and play out in LA?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Well, I'll be looking for it. I'll be looking for you. Thanks so much for doing this.
I love you.